glass jars. This one is just, I think maybe a coffee jar that I've just cleaned up, and you could use some tissue paper. So with this one, I was just starting to make a nice flower, and all I've done is got a lot of different colours of tissue paper, all within the theme that I'm going for, which is pink, red, and green. And you just need some, again, PVA glue and a cup with a paintbrush, your tissue paper. So this, hopefully I'm not rustling this too much that you can't hear me, but let me just rip a little bit of this off. So all I did was I ripped a bit off. You could shred it up beforehand, but I just ripped a little bit off and I scrunched it up and tried to kind of make it into a bit of a petal shape. So I've kind of gone for a longer petal, but you could make it a circle and make it round. And you just put quite a bit of PVA glue on the glass. And then get this a good shape. Stick it on the glue. Now that's already stuck on there and it's not moving. But what I like to do is I like to put a bit more of the PVA glue on the edge of it just to make sure it's definitely going to stick. And then I'm going to get a different colour of tissue paper for the centre. Again, this is quite a good one because you don't have to be neat about it. It's quite fun because you get to just scrunch up the little bits. Again, stick some more PVA glue on here. And that's going to be the centre of my flower. I'm going to make another petal. Stick that on. And again, I just like to go around it. You could go over the top of it, but it's quite nice to have that texture on there where you can feel the paper. And it will stick. It'll move about at first because obviously the glue is wet. But once you leave it to dry, it will stick really well. So again, I'm just scrunching it up and I'm just kind of making it into what I would say is a petal shape. And I'm just going to put a bit more PVA glue on there. And just keep sticking the little petals on. And I'll do 2 more, and then I think that'll be my flower looking nice and full. One more. So you can see that I'm just like literally just scrunching it up. But as I'm doing that, I'm kind of pushing it into a nice petal shape. So that's your nice pretty flower. You can position it, the glue will let you move things around. So if you feel like the positioning isn't right, you can move it around. And you could put a nice bit of green tissue paper like I've done here. As a stem. So I just ripped a bit off there and twisted it. hopefully you can see that. So check it for size. I'm going to rip a little bit off of that. More PVA glue. Using a little bit. And just stick that on there. And you could just also add a little leaf. Same way you did with the petal. You just rip it off, scrunch it up, put it into a leaf shape. Once again, more PVA glue. And stick that on there. So you can just set that to one side, let that dry. Another option that you could do with the tissue paper and the glass jar is actually spend time cutting out the nice shapes of the flowers and sticking them on flat. These are quite light colours, but hopefully you can kind of see that. So all I did was I got my big sheet of tissue paper and I just cut out a little square because it's easier to cut the shape you want if you've just got a little square. I'm hoping you can see this okay. Yep. Now I took it from an edge just because I felt like that was easiest to get the petal shape that I wanted. And I just cut round it. Did the other side. And that's how I got a pencil shape. So I am just sticking these on very similarly to the other ones, bit of PVA glue, and then you just stick it on flat. And I'll just do that all the way around. What I might actually do first of all is cut out a little stalk for my flower. So I'm just going to, because that's a darker colour, I'm going to stick that on first. A bit of excess here that I'm just going to chop off. And then I can stick the rest of my petals on. And that gives you a lovely little flower. And like I say, see when the PVA glue's not dried, you can definitely move them about. So if you don't like the positioning of them, you can change them. And I cut out a little leaf, just the same way. PVA glue my hands to stay as I did petal. And I'm just going to stick that on there. And there you go. So that's your kind of decor part of that. And then you need to think of, is there anything else that you want to add to it? I also did a little love heart, cut out a little love heart that I thought I could maybe stick on it. You could decorate all the sides. What's really nice about this is like when it's sitting on a windowsill and the light shines through, think of the colour that will come through the tissue paper. So if you were wanting to do brighter colours like these pinks and brighter greens, that would be really nice sitting on a windowsill when the sun shines through. So again, I did a little gift tag. This one's a little bit different. And I've just fed through a bit of ribbon. And what I was thinking I was going to do is just tie it round like that, but so it's not covering my little design. And I could put a wee bow in it, or I could just tie it in a knot, and then even if they want to take the gift tag off, they've still got this pretty little ribbon with a bow on it as well. So I've just tied a little bow there. It's got a gift tag on it. And I thought what flowers would be nice in my little vase. And because spring is just around the corner, I just picked up some lovely yellow tulips and it makes it nice and bright. And there you have your little Valentine's Day present with some lovely spring tulips in there.